Couple more things done on my Defiant. I have built a light box and I light blocked it with black primer and then put some white on it so it wouldn't be so black and it would reflect light inside the model, and this will go over this. I've already tested it and the lighting effect is beautiful. I have installed two red 805 SMDs and a cool white 805 SMD here. This will be a nav beacon, a strobe beacon. It'll flash at the strobe rate. These I used pieces of, pieces of clear sprue, which were the right size for the hole. Inserted them, trimmed into size, and then glued the SMD on top. Here I used, I believe it was a 0.75 millimeter fiber optic, which I mushroomed and then hazed with some 600 grit, and after I glued it in place with some canopy glue, I trimmed flush with the inside of the model, and then I glued the SMD on top and blocked it with tulip paint. I have painted the two halves of the model with the base color. I chose to create a light gray by taking white spees and adding a few drops of black and then a few drops of blue to create a bluish white gray, which closely matches the box art. Of course, this will have asticking of some kind. I still haven't decided if I'm going to do decals or paint it. I think I'll end up with decals. It's easier. I do have the downloaded decals from Starship Modeler, the website. I just need to print them out to decal paper. Got to do some work to refine that there. The plastic putty needs to be sanded along the edge. I may use some regular putty. I also need to deal with these pits on the resin part. They'll need to be puttied and resanded and repainted. The other parts look pretty good. I still haven't worked on these, although I did cut out the two portions. The other half has also been painted, the bottom half. Very nice color. I really like it. Closely matches what I'm looking for. I used the big paint gun with a compressor, and I just love the way that thing paints. Right now I'm light blocking the other light box. As you can see, it's got the black primer on it. I'm gonna check to see for light leaks and then coat it with some white primer. These are some other parts that I'm primering, light blocking on the inside. And I am also drilling off the parts here because that'll have the metallic grid. That'll be the replacement for it, and the inner parts, which I have right here. There they are. These will be the inside of the warp engines. That'll be, this will sit on top like that with that glued on the inside, and a blue LED strip, I guess, will be in there after I paint that, and the metallic grids will be in here. I think it's going to look really cool. So the build is coming along very nicely, making a lot of progress. Anyway, talk to you guys later. Light box is glued in place and light blocked with tulip paint all along the edges, and the little exit hole I drilled for the wires. Still got a little bit there that I'll have to do. Light is on though, and boom. Of course. This is washed out a little bit because of the camera. It looks a lot more blue, more intense blue. The circles will be painted. I've been looking at that studio model I talked about, and I think I'll paint them black or charcoal gray. And the inner circles, the ones that are illuminated, will probably get painted in clear blue to emphasize the blue some more, because when this thing is off, it's the color of plastic, and obviously I don't want it to be that. So anyway, this is I'm very pleased with this. I'll repeat for the other side and continue my work. Talk to you soon. Moving along on my Defiant. Last night I completed the port nacelle, the rear part anyway. As you can see, and you can see the accurizing kit parts in there with the little greeblies and the translucent plastic, which I also frosted. I've got the translucent plastic for the starboard nacelle drying over here after frosting it with the gray color from the hull. And now I'm working on the Bussard collector for the port nacelle. The accurizing kit comes with these resin parts. One of them is a clear yellow resin part. I guess in some builds the Bussards are yellow and others are red. I prefer them red, but I think what I'll do is I'll put a red LED strip behind this so that it looks yellow when it's off and red when it's on, sort of like the Enterprise D does when the warp nacelles are off and on. This resin part will need to be light blocked because it is translucent. It transmits the light, so if I leave it like that and just paint it, the light from the LED strips is going to go right through it, and it's not going to look good. I'll have to see how the LED strips look behind this. It seems to me I'm probably going to have to frost it or haze it a little bit more behind it, because that clear resin is just it's just not hazy enough, and besides it's got a lot of markings and fingerprints and stuff on it, so it might benefit for some light sanding. Anyway, I drilled a hole in this one, guiding myself using the original kit parts. This sits here. The accurized part is shorter than the kit part. The kit part goes across to the other little stump there. I thought about cutting it out, but you know what? That's fine. It's a hole marking. I'll leave it alone. This is supposed to sit right here. And of course one of the two phaser banks is there, so that'll need to be drilled out, and LEDs or SMDs placed so that it'll fire through there. So I still got a lot of work to do, but it's coming along very nicely. I like the way this looks back here. I think that's cool. I cut out a piece of clear plastic rod left over from when I did my Falcon. I still have another piece and a couple more pieces put away, and I've been filing it and getting it into shape and size so it'll be the support rod on the rear here. I'm going to glue it like that so that the kit will not compress once it's put together. I'm probably going to do one on the front too, so it has two support rods in the center. The nacelles will be supported by these two pieces, and that should, hopefully, the idea being, should keep it from crushing inwards if I have to manipulate it once I've glued it together, because once I get rid of the seam, I don't want it to come back, and any little crushing will bring it right back. I still haven't decided how I'm going to do the navs on the sides. I definitely want to do them. They're supposed to be in the center. It's going to be kind of difficult to drill right through where the seam is. So I don't know. I'm going to look at some more builds and see if perchance I could maybe elevate them a little bit so that they're right above the seam, and they don't. I don't have to deal with them when I get the seam taken care of. I can just put them in there and then work on the seam. That might be the best thing to do, but I'm still debating that. Still got plenty of work to do. I've got two lights to put back here, and plenty of work on the bottom half also. Oh, and I need to put some LED strips in here, because this is where they'll illuminate towards the lower part, the lower hall where all the windows are, and that needs to be illuminated. Anyway, fun build. Plenty of planning and preparation, and my kind of build. I like all this thinking and planning on where the lighting is going to go, because especially if the final product looks cool. So back with more soon. Take care.